The views or opinions expressed in this presentation are those of the participants and do not necessarily represent the views and opinions of Westman Communications Group or its employees.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the KC Chronicles, episode 31. Last episode of 2024.
You know what I find so funny? Sorry, this was just, I was thinking about this while our intro was running.
Yeah.
So we're live while the intro's going on, and we have to try so hard to be quiet. Like, I don't think I understand.
And not laugh.
Like,
we have to sit there.
I was holding my breath the entire time until I knew we were on the screen, and I was like, like, it's funny to me.
No, I don't look at you because else I'm gonna laugh.
Wow, rude.
Yeah, I know.
It's fine.
I just
thought that was a little funny thing because I'm like, every time we do the intro, I'm like, because I'm trying not to breathe, but at the same time, I'm like,
for our show, during the intro, you have to do a lot of inner chi. You have to a lot of inner peace. You have to just
can't look
eliminate.
At each other.
You can't look. You can't see.
Yeah.
Eliminate the background noise and just wait the 10-20 seconds. Anyway, hi.
So guess what?
What?
Well, not to you. Guess what? To our followers, our fans.
Just not to me.
This is our last episode before the new year. We ended up getting time to do another one.
I know. We hope you enjoyed our
Christmas
big
spectacular
3-part mega special.
Wow. We just keep making bigger names every time we explain.
The super awesome big special of KC Chronicles.
We should get a banner that says that.
A banner.
The super awesome KC Chronicles Christmas spectacular. Could you just imagine that?
It's like an additional $5 for every letter we add to it.
I think it would be funny.
Yeah, well, we've got some space here in the house. We can maybe take down some of these photos.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anyway, as you were saying.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Christmas episodes, and we have time to do one more. So we thought, in the spirit of the holiday season, because typically during Christmas you are with your family, sometimes your extended family, and you're around people that you that you have relationships with, in a broad sense.
Whether that be friends,
families,
significant others, literally anything.
So we thought, why not just talk about relationships in the spirit of the holiday season?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll jump into that. But first, I wanted to say that, one, we have a TikTok. I think I mentioned it last time.
Yeah, we did.
We have a TikTok, and we have an Instagram with the exact same usernames. So go follow us on TikTok and Instagram at it's on the other side. The KC_Chronicles 2024. Instagram and TikTok, it's the exact same username. Look us up, you'll see us. We got some fun clips on our Instagram, fun clips on our TikTok.
Yep.
Actually, just today before we started filming, I posted a video from behind the scenes of last time we filmed when we did the gingerbread house, where we made the people in the office try it. And by the people, I mean Terry and Kevin.
Forcefully.
They rated it. So you can go check out the proof that we are the best gingerbread house makers in the entire city.
It's still sitting out in the office, kind of gathering
dust.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah. Maybe we should put it out of its misery. We should put it out of its misery.
Also, if you or anyone you know is interested in doing a podcast with us in the studio or by yourself or with a group of friends, you can email us at WCGTV@westmancom.com, or you can DM us on either of our social platforms, and we will get back to you as fast as we can. I get all the notifications. It's on my phone, so if you're gonna DM us,
I'm not responsible
you're
for any
DMing
of that.
me.
Yeah.
And then I'll just send it to Colin and be like, what do we say?
What do we say?
How do we answer?
Oh.
Anyway, with that,
let's
jump into relationships.
We all have them, unless you're a recluse in the forest, and in which case you don't have a relationship.
Unless you're future me in the forest by yourself. Kidding.
Yeah, when I'm 50, I'm going to be in a forest by myself.
We talked about going to live in a cabin in the forest, so just podcasting from there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll just be the lonesome little duo in the forest.
Like, our microphones will have to be like sticks and rocks, taped
it'd be
together.
like day 24 of the forest. I saw a bear today.
giant tallies behind us on the wall. It's like a prison.
Yeah.
Yep. When we said we were going to talk about relationships in a broad sense, it's broad.
Yeah.
Where do we start?
I think we start with let's start with the probably the easiest one to talk on, and that would be significant others.
Is it?
I think so, because it's not blood related. It's not like a friendly thing. It's something that's more serious than that. But I also think we should talk about the fact that technology has affected and evolved relationships so much nowadays.
Yeah, I remember we talked about social media like way back on one of our first episodes.
If you were there, let us know.
If you were there. And I'm of the opinion that social media has ruined modern dating.
Yeah, I believe that.
I think it has, hookup culture, online dating apps, I think all of that has kind of eroded everything.
Well, I think it's also brought, like, the romance out of everything. Like,
yeah, there's no chivalry, there's no romance.
there's no, like, I'm sorry, when someone makes you feel like it's too much to ask for a simple bouquet of flowers, like, that's just,
like,
that's stuff that was done in the 50s gladly. That's stuff that was done in the olden days gladly. Like, you shouldn't ever have to feel like you're too much. And I get there's all mental health reasons and all that now, too, but that literally has no excuse of anything.
There's so much more isolation now. I think when you have computers and you have phones that you in a way don't have to ever leave your house because you can have all your groceries, all your dinner delivered to you. You can communicate with anyone instantly. You don't need to go out. You don't need to develop relationships anymore. And I think that has impacted. I think dating is probably the worst thing because with friends, yes, you can still connect online, play video games with your friends, but dating though, it's
dating
a bit of
relationships are like you need the personal connection.
You need to be in the same room as the person.
Well, yeah, I mean, like friendships, you can at least stay consistent online, and it's not like it's make or break the relationship if you don't hang out in person. But with a dating relationship, it's a lot more. It's a lot more important to have that in-person connection.
Absolutely.
And if you don't have that, that's so easily downhill how relationships go or how cheating happens.
Yeah. Like it's so necessary. It's just yes, long distance relationships are a thing and they can work.
But it also doesn't mean you're online all the time. Like you go surprise your partner, you go see your partner whenever you can. Like it's not just online.
And it almost seems like a lot of those long distance relationships that end up working are because they were together, but one had to move away for school or for like temporary work for a few months, and then they eventually just come back. Like that, like two people meeting and staying apart from like several provinces or states or countries apart. The success rate is about like down here.
See, and I worry because like with online in relationships, there's a lot of catfishing that does go on, especially if you meet somebody online.
Oh yeah.
Well, just an example from like somebody I knew. He was dating a girl in Europe. They'd never met, and she took a lot of his money. And I'm like, well, as stupid as it is to say, it's your fault. You let this happen, and you didn't just because you wanted the companionship and you didn't care to go out and make those friendships, relationships in person. So, what I say to that is. One, if you fall for catfishing, be smarter, be internet safe, don't be stupid.
Yeah, having internet literacy and being internet smart in the modern age, you can apply that to several other areas. It's not just dating, but it's...
Yeah. And also just learn to make those connections in person. You may be a socially anxious person or whatever, but there's always a part of you that can make those relationships in person.
Yeah, like if you have social anxiety and you don't like to leave the house, here's the thing. Staying online is not going to help.
No.
You actually have to like kind of grow a pair at some point.
You got to work on yourself. And
you actually have to make an effort to go out. You can't just expect everything to come right to you.
Yeah, that's never going to happen. Even with the internet, that's never going to happen.
No. No. It might, but it's probably not going to work out.
But the other thing, like that's what I also hate about online dating and just making relationships that way is catfishing. That stuff scares me, especially when a lot of murders happen that way or kidnapping. Like that's terrifying. This is a personal preference, but I don't ever want to meet somebody in online dating.
No.
That is a personal preference and I get it, and that is a way to meet people as long as you're working towards the meeting in person and to the personal connection. But I, as a young female, can't imagine actually meeting somebody from an online dating website and like actually trust in them right away. I wouldn't be able to.
No.
It would take so long, and they would have to prove to me that they're not going to kill me. I don't know.
Okay, well, that's a little far.
Well-
I think a majority of the time it's it's a little more innocent in the sense that they might be catfishing you, and it just ends up to be not who you thought it was, and it's just an annoyance and like an embarrassment. But it stops at that. That's the best case
Yes, that's
scenario.
best
It's
case
bad,
scenario.
but it's the best case scenario. Where it really gets bad is where you get scammed out of hundreds or thousands of dollars, or you end up missing. So,
Sorry, this is going to sound so bad.
oh no.
Well, no. When you said get scammed out of a lot of money, that actually happened to my ex, the most recent one, that I found out afterwards. I'll tell you the story later. It's a bit of a graphic story, but I'll tell you the story later. He got scammed out of a lot of money, and it kind of made me laugh because of what he did to me. So,
Good riddance.
good karma. No, but in all seriousness, it's definitely something you need to. I don't know. You need to learn those interpersonal connection skills, and you need to be able to talk to people in person. You can't just think that everything's going to happen over the internet for you, because that's never going to happen. And that's any type of relationships, friends, family, dating, like any type of relationships. You need to keep the bond there in person, even if it's not all the time. I have a best friend that I haven't seen in years, but that's because we live so far apart. But we make time to see each other when we can, and that's why we're still friends.
Yeah, again, like I think with friendships, you can make that work a lot easier because there's not a
pressure.
and there's not a commitment to it, if that
That's
kind of
true.
makes sense. Like a relationship, you have to commit. You have to commit. You have to communicate. You have to do these very big.
Except a lot of people can't do that.
No. Big fat
no.
No.
A lot of people cannot do that, and
No.
that's the saddest part, I think, about our world, because like relationships used to be this big commitment, and people used to take them seriously, and now with the internet they don't, and
No,
that sucks.
And I mean, I won't go into every graphic detail, but essentially, like when I said about hookup culture, apps like Tinder, Bumble, do you know what?
Hinge, I think, is one.
Hinge is another one.
I don't know.
Grinder, there's none of that one. Whatever. A dating app, those are pretty much, I think, 3/4 of the time used for people to hook up.
Yeah.
To
Not necessarily date.
No, there's no dating. It's either I've just been dumped or I'm a sad, lonely person and I need to go, get my fix. That's what a lot of it has become.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's one of the things that has definitely ruined dating and just everything in our world, because like, in all honesty, how can you know who's telling the truth now with that? Like who actually wants that, and then what you get played? Like that's not fair to anybody in that scenario. But there could be people out there looking for relationships and they fall for it because they think, oh, this person's like, oh, I'm looking for a relationship, and then they just use you. Like that's terrible. So I think that I think that has definitely turned a lot of people off, and people just stopped caring and stopped looking and just gave up on love because dating apps ruined it. And let's be real, you're not gonna have your Hallmark movie meeting, and that rarely ever happens.
Yeah,
but
like it's so rare. Like pretty much, because again, for some people, dating apps have worked.
and that's
Healthy, great marriage, and we're happy for those people.
but 95% of the time,
It's not the case.
it's not the case.
But again, and that low success rate is about as likely as you going out and again having that Hallmark movie moment where it's like this misty, rainy park and you're sitting on a bench and then
Oh, the love of my life just walked in. Like
and
that
then,
never
and then she
happens.
walks by and then all of a sudden you guys like connect and you're like best friends within the first like 5 minutes and then you're engaged like 5 minutes after that.
Like that's never how it's gonna happen. So I feel like a lot of people.
Romance movies almost in a way have ruined it, or they've given you unrealistic expectations.
So I feel like everybody gives up because you're not gonna meet someone on a dating site mostly because it's just for hookups, and you're not gonna have your Hallmark movie. So how
So
are
the
you gonna
question-
find love?
Okay, so then let's transition to how do you make relationships work in the modern age? Let's Number one, luck.
No, I was gonna say number one, communication. I cannot say this enough. You need to communicate. I get like we're in this world where everybody has their inner feelings and they're too scared to tell people no. No. You tell your partner how you feel, and it should never cause a fight.
No.
That's a big thing. If your partner is good at listening and communicating with you, it will never cause a fight to tell them how you feel.
Yeah.
Nor should it be a problem to tell them what you want in the relationship.
Yeah. And having disagreements and a fight sometimes is necessary in a relationship.
It's normal.
Provided it's not
Provided you're not
physical.
throwing things and
yeah, exactly. Like if there's a disagreement or an argument, that's happened and that's
normal.
And it's sometimes it's healthy.
It's normal because you guys aren't perfect, but if you're starting to like throw things or slamming
Yeah.
doors or silent treatment on each other,
but again, if the most simple things are causing arguments or feel like you're treading on eggshells constantly,
no. You should feel open and comfortable and safe to express how you feel and what you need. Because if somebody loves you, they will tend to those needs and work on being better for you.
And if they're unreasonable and they don't accept that, well, then they're not the person for you. And a lot of people don't want to accept that fact, so they'll
stay.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that, you need to also be able to open up and listen to what your partner is saying. Because let's be real, everybody makes mistakes. Or if you're doing something that your partner hates, you should change it.
We're all human.
Like
nobody is perfect.
No
no
works both
relationship's
ways.
perfect.
It works both ways. And so if you feel like you're safely and openly can communicate to them, they should feel that same way about you.
Exactly.
And if you don't have a working relationship. So number one key to a successful, lasting relationship is communication, no matter how hard it is.
So what do we think are okay? So I think there's some like objectively good things that that are good for a relationship. I think communication is the number one, but perhaps maybe this is more subjective. But what do you think are like the second, third, and fourth, and fifth most important things in a relationship?
I think the second, in my opinion, would be quality time, spending time together.
That's one thing actually I wanted to say with communication, and this is more of a personal belief that. If you're going to communicate, like seriously communicate, do it in person. Don't do it over FaceTime or text. Be in the same room as the person.
Yeah, I feel that. Because you want to be able not only to like hug them, say if they're breaking down or if they're having a hard time, but you also want to be able to be openly accepting and show them that you're listening, because not a lot of times over the phone you can do that.
And it's hard to read sarcasm, hatred.
Oh, yes.
It's hard to read that through letters. It doesn't matter how much punctuation or the little emojis you put into it. You can't read that emotion. The best way that you can read someone and how they're feeling at that current time is being like in a room.
The other way I'd say that is you'd at least know you'd have their full undivided attention too.
Exactly.
But yeah, my number two would be quality time, spending time with each other, learning each other's hobbies.
And indulging in it.
Sacrificing what you like to do something the other person likes.
There's a lot of give and take.
Yeah, so like, for example, my boyfriend loves hockey. So I actually learned to love his favorite team, and I watch with him whenever he wants to watch it.
What's his favorite team?
The Boston Bruins. Oh, okay. He likes the Jets too.
Okay.
But he just his absolute favorite team is the Bruins, but I bought him a Jets jersey because he's going to a Jets game on January 4th.
Nice.
And he's going to hopefully wear the jersey that I bought him.
One thing I will say, actually, that is kind of funny. The Jets played Boston last week, and they won 8-1.
Yeah, he was not happy about that one. We did not watch that game, but he was not
happy.
But see, that's me giving into his
exactly
his hobbies, even though I'm not a huge fan of hockey.
And you don't need to like overindulge it. Like you don't need to become like a hockey super fan.
No.
Just ask him how the game's going. Ask him how his team's doing. Like, it doesn't matter how much you indulge in it. If you at least show that you're showing interest in the other person, the person receiving that, it will appreciate that. Because if it's a personal interest that they really like, sometimes if it's maybe more niche, and if you give that time to that person, it's like that means way more than what you could ever than what they could ever express.
Well, and more than money you could afford. Like if you just genuinely spend the time and be present and be there with your person, it doesn't matter.
That's the other thing. Material wealth has and trying to and basically thinking that you can win affection by money.
No, you can't.
There's no such thing as winning affection by money. Like the term gold digger, I mean, that's been around for longer than both of us, but
there's no way you can actually buy love.
You can't buy love.
You can buy lust, but you can't buy love. And that's the big difference.
That's a quote right there. Yeah. Put that on a plaque. Put that on the wall back there.
I think that might be the big problem is people don't understand the difference between love and lust. Lust is just a fleeting feeling that you have for somebody, but love is genuinely there.
And there's nothing wrong with lust, but you can't let it define 100% of your relationship.
Okay, so my number three, going from communication and quality time. My number 3, honestly, I don't know what words to put it in, but my number 3 would be, well, for me at least, it's like, it's the same as quality time. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but, what would your number 3 be? Like, what would your opinion be on number 3? Because I think, like, quality time and communication are so important, but I also think, actually, I kind of trust. Trust is a big thing.
That's a good one. That would be somewhere on mine too.
I think trust would be number 2 or 3. They're like kind of competing with each other because trust is also so important to have a working relationship, and not only trusting your partner but also proving that your partner can trust you.
Yeah,
Being open, being honest.
It's simple. Like
Don't
it's
cheat.
simple. Yeah, have the trust that they will not cheat or infidelity. Trust that when you need. When you genuinely need support, they will find a way to take some time to give you that support, whatever that may be, serious or not. What's another one? I had something on the tip of my tongue. I'm trying to remember what it was. Here, do you want to?
My other one, another big one for me would be caring for each other. And by this I mean when your significant other is sick, you care for them. You don't like stop talking to them or you don't fly away. Like if your partner's sick, take care of them.
Okay.
That's very important to me.
I remember what mine was. I don't know if I have a word for this. There might be a word, but I don't know what it is. But you need to be comfortable spending time apart. You need to have basically
Having space.
Yeah, like you need to be able to have space. Because the one thing that I don't know if this is for maybe some of our older viewers, you can maybe tell me if relationships were always like this or if this is a newer thing. But one thing I see with a lot of like relationships like nowadays, especially like a lot of like younger relationships, the second they start dating, they are practically glued to each other.
So
for like,
codependent.
They're so codependent. It's like that's not how marriage works.
No.
You need space.
I agree with you on that one. That was a big one. It's because like you are one together and you work together and you grow together, but also at the same time you need to be able to grow separately.
Exactly.
Because you can grow together, but if you're not growing separately, you're not going anywhere at all. So you need to have your own hobbies, your own interests. You need to be able to have something that you can do without your partner.
Yeah.
So like for example, like me and my boyfriend, we spend a lot of time together. Like, yes, we go to school together and all that, but I spend time at home by myself reading, or I spend time at work, or I spend time with Cullen and we whatever, and he goes off and he works. Like we don't work together, and that's a big thing. It's like probably don't work with your significant other.
It's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, it's not a very good idea, I don't think.
Because if you break up, that becomes awkward.
Yeah. So I would just have something for each person to do, and also don't be afraid to ask for that alone time.
Exactly.
If you're feeling overwhelmed and you just need to be alone, you shouldn't feel like you can't ask for that.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know. To me, I think that like, because whenever single relationship starts, there's the infamous, like there's the flame of the relationship, like you want to be with them all the time, and that's fine. And if you and your significant other want to spend a lot of time together, that's okay. But you have to be comfortable with your own skin and just not being around them constantly. Like people have like separation anxiety almost, like when it comes to them. Also,
your entire personality should not be, oh, I have a boyfriend, or oh, I have a girlfriend. That should not be your entire personality. Let's just put that way. You should have your own personality. That is not your relationship.
Because people, honestly, I think who like fill their entire world of their personality type with their significant other, and you spend so much time together, you are going to get burnt out. You might not think you will, but you'll get burnt out from it.
You're also going to get tired of that person.
And you're going to get tired of them. And when things naturally sour, your whole world is going to come crashing down before you because you are so codependent and connected with them, but not in a healthy way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that I think our biggest takeaways is just communicate, and also space is a good thing. Like
communicate, trust, space, caring,
and quality time.
The
other thing that I would like say on that is like with the space thing, like when you give each other space, that doesn't mean you don't talk. Like you can text or whatever, but have your alone time. That doesn't mean you have to ignore each other. The silent
No.
treatment is never a good thing, but it means that you have the ability to do stuff. Like, say if you're not answering, that's okay, but you also can talk. Like, I talk to my boyfriend when I'm at home watching TV, but it's not like I'm spending every second with him.
Yeah, it's just casual chit chat.
Yeah.
So
I also believe that just one of the biggest things for anything is just, I don't know, having the ability to set aside professional and personal relationships. So, like, for example, me and my boyfriend go to school together.
Right.
When we started dating, we talked about what our relationship would be like at school versus in our alone time. Because it's like our school right now is kind of like a job. They treat us like we are professionals. So we act like professionals at school, and we're not all over each other. But then, like, if we're in the privacy of either of our homes, or like if we're just alone, like we hold hands or whatever. Like we do our stuff. But like,
Sure.
my thing is you should, especially if you go to school, high school, whatever school, or you work with your significant other, you should be able to separate the professionalism from the personal side of everything.
That's a really good one.
Because, and that's the thing, you can't let them spill over into each other. Like, if you have a professional disagreement, you have a professional disagreement. That shouldn't affect your personal.
That should not spill over. And no.
That's the other thing I would say is, also, if you have any issue with that work, don't bring the work issues home. I saw this so much growing up, because my parents would get upset about work and stuff, and then they would fight over it, and I'm like, it's not worth it. You should be able to calmly talk about stuff that happened at work, but if you can't, the work talk doesn't come home.
No.
Ever.
Unless it's like a dire situation.
Yeah, but I would say just generally just avoid the topic of work, especially if it's something that's like absolutely pissing you off. If it's a good thing from work, feel free, because it's like a celebratory thing.
For sure, yeah.
But if it's something that gets you fired up, maybe just not. Maybe leave it at the door when you come home. Any other wise wisdom from Mr. Cullen?
Mr. Cullen says, oh, you know what? And I think this is just fun. Have fun.
Yeah, you're
Just
young.
Don't be afraid to have fun while you're young. Mm-hmm. Like, and that can be whatever you want. Again, please do not. Okay. Never, almost never weigh up relationships that you see on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, reality TV shows. Those are not benchmarks for how relationships should go. Most celebrities do not live in the real world. They have enough money to like burn it in front of you and then do that 200 more times. That fundamentally changes so much about dating when you are rich and you live in your own bubble of society. For the average Joe, which I mean, there are like billions of us, but don't weigh on them for being a measurement of how relationships should be measured up to. So when you have fun, don't feel like you need to spend like $1 bajillion to have fun. Like sometimes $10 to go play mini golf.
Yeah.
You can have so much fun doing that, and that cost you $10.
I think don't compare yourself and your
don't
relationship
compare yourself
to others, because it's just gonna make it feel like there's so much pressure on it.
And that creates jealousy.
Exactly. Honestly, just trust each other and find fun things that you like to do together. It doesn't have to be that hard.
I'm sure you can. Don't even try and say like, well, I don't think we like anything. Trust me. You can
Here's an
find
idea.
something.
Me and my boyfriend made a list of places in town that we want to eat that we've never really eaten at together. So we keep checking off every now and then. We're like, oh, what should we do? And then we're like, oh, let's look at our list, and we go here.
Yeah, just create a giant bucket list. That can keep you entertained for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and obviously be weather safe when you're doing stuff, especially if you live. Well, you shouldn't be living in Canada if you're listening to this, but
that's one thing I will say. Now, while all of us are young and dumb,
be safe.
Have fun. Like, okay, just be safe.
Wow,
but you can have fun.
We sound like sex ed teachers.
Okay, you know what? That too.
Just be safe.
Just be safe, and always you know what we mean. Just be safe. Okay.
Don't ruin your life at a young age. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Unless it's like I have a friend who's the same age as me. She just got married in January, and she just had her first baby in October. But the only reason she got married so young is because that's what she grew up with. Her family, she lived in a big family, he lived in a big family, and that's just what she wanted. And honestly, that's okay. If that's what you want, that's perfect.
If you both share the same values, go for it.
But if you are like me and you're career driven and you want a good career, be safe. Don't ruin your life at a young age. And I'm not saying that kids ruin your life, but when you're young,
they do.
when you're young, it gets hard. And so just be conscious of what you're doing. We sound like parents, and we also sound like sex ed teachers here.
Of which we are neither.
But no, genuinely, just be smart. That's the big thing. I grew up in a family that was like talked about a lot of everything, and like my mom was always wanting to talk about things. So I was like, I don't know, just she taught me a lot just to be smart. Because like it takes one thing to happen, and then you have a kid, and now you're stuck, and you didn't get the job you wanted. Chase your dreams first.
Or even worse, you get a disease. If you know what I mean, that's
chase your dreams first. That's what I would say is go after your dreams. No relationship, like nothing should stop you from chasing your dreams. So that's the other thing. If you don't have a partner that supports your dreams, get out of there. You want somebody, especially if this is someone you're thinking about marrying, you want a person who's going to support you every step of the way. And if they don't support you, if they belittle you, or if they hurt you in any way, get out of there.
Exactly.
Just leave, flee, run out the door,
Get
on the next train to like Alaska or something.
Rent a car,
but
never come back.
Genuinely, personal safety and also support are very important. If you don't feel personally safe, if you're not being supported, if you feel belittled, don't stay. That's my big advice.
Gotta go.
Get out. And yes.
Wait, so get out, leave?
No, I will say this. Yes, both men and women can receive that in a relationship. It's not just women who get bullied in a relationship. Men can be bullied too. So no matter who you are, if you're in a relationship that's not good for you, get out. That's my advice.
Dropping truth bombs.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to cut it at the relationship or the dating side.
We spent a lot of time.
We spent a lot of
talking
time. Well, but it's
a big topic, and I mean we covered some of it before in our social media episode, but it's so broad. Like we need
to like spend some actual time dedicated to it.
Yeah, like we could do a whole episode just on
like one of those topics.
Significant others, and it's like just how it is in the modern world.
And talk about trust. Or like communication. We can dedicate
and
a whole episode to that.
Yeah, maybe we will. Maybe in the new year.
Maybe.
Stay tuned. So let's talk about family and friends.
Ooh.
So
this one's a lot more fun.
See, I feel like family, it's so hard because sometimes family is not.
It's not good.
And I'm so very grateful to not have anything in my family that's like that, except for we had one uncle, but he's out of the family now. So, like, I never really felt unsafe in my family. I feel like I could be myself. I mean, I've been judged for my tattoos and my piercings. But that's not something they can change, and they came back around to loving me, so it's okay.
That's one thing I always say. Whatever.
Just like everybody has their own opinion, but they didn't stop loving me because of it.
You're a family member, not my employer.
Exactly.
Unless they are, which that's awkward, but.
Yeah, no. I am my own boss for my photography. Anywho, yeah, so I feel very grateful that I have a family that is so good and supportive, but I know that's not the case for everybody. So
I'm lucky in that regard too. I'm pretty much the exact same thing.
I feel like it's obviously up to your own judgment, but do what's best for you. If a family member is not if you don't have a good relationship with a family member, you shouldn't feel pressured.
Or members.
You shouldn't feel pressured to keep that relationship going. If you want to cut it off, you cut it off.
Yeah. And see, really with family members, it's a lot more tricky because you are directly related to them. And the sort of connection you have with them is unique because since like this might sound weird, but like you're their offspring. So there's a lot more of that type of connection dynamic is much different than what you would have with a friend or a significant other.
Yeah, so sometimes I feel like people find it hard to leave. And then
leave families. Because again, it's like, that's your mother, that's your father, that's your sister, your brother.
And that's so valid to feel scared about leaving. But also at the same time, if you are being treated unfairly in a family, you shouldn't feel obligated to stay.
It can feel very liberating.
Yeah, you shouldn't feel obligated to stay.
But if you have a good family that loves you and supports you,
love them back.
Spend time with them. Listen, as I've gotten a little older, life is short.
Honestly, yeah.
And when you see your parents start to grow old, really just please take the time to just spend time with them.
Honestly, I feel like we could apply the key things from significant other relationships to this too, because like, let's be real, communication in your family, pretty good, pretty key. Like that's a big thing.
Have trust
with your family. Care for each other. Spend quality time together. Like it all applies all across the board.
In slightly different contexts.
In different ways. But those 5 big things we talked about, they apply across the board to whatever relationship you have, just in different ways.
And have fun with your parents, honestly.
That sounds
Like some of like
I'm sorry.
You know what I mean.
I know. But like spend time with them. Like my big thing is I'm an adult now, right? But I do have a little sister. She's 16.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to hate spending time with my little sister when I was in high school. Hated it.
How loving.
Yeah, no, because she's my little sister. She would follow me around, want
siblings.
everything. Like,
see, I'm unique in that I'm an only child, so I never had the sibling.
you want to come to my family Christmas and enjoy spending time with my siblings?
No.
In all honesty, I love my siblings, and I feel like as we grew up, we grew closer. If that makes sense. Like me and my brothers after high school, like now that we don't live together, we actually love each other.
Yeah, I love you because I don't have to see you.
Honestly, it's so true though. But I feel like, I don't know, if you're in high school and you have a little sibling and you're like, oh, they're so annoying, be grateful for them because honestly, it's not going to be around forever. I learned that after my car accident. I was like, yeah, I could have died. We're not going to be around forever. So be close with your family. Be close with your family members. If you have a feud with your siblings, just end it and get along with them. For your parents' sake, because I swear your parents probably want to knock you upside the head for arguing with your siblings 24/7. Not speaking from experience.
More so because they find it annoying.
No, but like truly, having my little sister is a blessing. She's annoying, and seriously, I want to punch her in the face some days. But she's a blessing.
Are you hearing this, Kenzie's sister? Are you hearing this?
She doesn't watch this. No, but she's a blessing. She knows. She used to be really, really bad, like really mean. Yeah, no, she just used to have her moments, and it was really hard to spend time with her, but she's grown up quite a bit, and now that I don't live with her, I love her. I think that's a big thing with siblings, is now that I don't live with you, I love you.
That is crazy.
But Colin wouldn't know what I'm talking about, because he's never had that.
Honestly, like, I can understand the dynamic, but I never really truly experienced it.
My this is actually funny. So now that I don't live with my brothers, I actually like them. So like my oldest brother, we started Snapchatting the other day because I bought something for my mom and he helped pay for it because we were doing a joint gift, right? And so I sent him a picture on Snapchat, be like, "Oh, look what just arrived!" And then we started talking every day on Snapchat, which is weird because we've never done that. And he showed me his tattoo when he first got it, and like it kind of, I don't know, it created a weird bond. Like, we actually kind of love each other. I mean, he could still be rude and mean to me, but all siblings are rude. But we actually are, like, talking, and it's really weird. But I feel like it's also because we don't live together anymore. We don't see each other all the time. I'm in a different province from all my family members, so...
Province.
Yeah, but I feel like, I don't know, appreciate your siblings, even if they're annoying.
There you go. I don't have any siblings, so for me it was all like the only like family like relationships I had was with my parents, and I feel like almost in a way I have a really good and broad relationship because I have cousins, obviously, like, you know, first and second cousins, but being an only child, a lot of attention gets directed to you, so you then you kind of get to know and really value a lot of like the relationships that you have like with your aunties and your uncles and whatnot, because it's not divided. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Can't relate.
And it's great. And if you're like me, I'm a funny person with my family, so I always make them all laugh, and that's always fun.
I mean, I just feel like, yeah.
Well, see, and when I was younger, I used to be, I've always been a bit of a shy person, but I was extra shy like when I was young. So whenever there'd be family gatherings, I wouldn't want to like talk to any of my relatives. I would just go with my cousins and goof off.
Oh yeah.
Now every single time, like as I've gotten like a little older,
like, yo, Billy, nice to see ya. I can just imagine him doing that.
I sound like a dad. Billy, how are you there? But I enjoy, I enjoy sitting down and like talking with family. Like you just sit around and just have a conversation like that. Like when I was younger.
I could just imagine Colin around a table with all of his relatives. Yes, queen. Sorry.
Where is this coming from? I've never done that. I'm sorry.
You would. You probably have. You just don't want to say it. You'd be like, yes. Anyway.
I haven't. I tried to think if I have, like, even jokingly, but I haven't.
No, but I get what you mean. Like, I don't know. My dad has 12 siblings.
Whoa.
Yeah, my dad. So my dad's side of the family is huge. I have a lot of cousins on that side, and it was so like I love them all, but it was it was very stuffy seeing everybody.
It's very stuffy.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's a lot of people. 13 plus their significant others plus their kids, and actually that's a lie. There's not 13 anymore. A couple of them passed away. My dad's the second youngest, actually.
That's very morbid.
Sorry, I'm just trying to think. Like, there's a lot of people in my dad's family. And obviously, like, one of his younger sister, the youngest in the family, my Aunt Crystal, she has her husband, but they weren't able to have children. So, like, that's a set of cousins that I don't have. But it's kind of nice because then when we go to their house, it's like there's not children running around. It's just us. And she spoiled us.
It's just you running around.
She spoiled us as kids because they weren't able to have their own.
And that's another thing. I got so spoiled.
Oh, of course you did.
But here's the thing. I was never like an ungrateful, like spoiled, rotten child. I was always very
ungrateful swine.
I wasn't an ungrateful swine. I was very, very grateful child. I just got spoiled a lot because everything would just get siphoned to me with presents and attention.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm used to being the center of attention.
That makes a lot of sense. You know, and it's
Don't blame me, blame my environment.
And my mom's side of the family, we're just the forgotten kids. We have some younger cousins, younger cousins, 3 younger cousins who are all boys. Spoiled brats, might I add. One's an only child, and the other 2 are little brats who are spoiled.
You better be lucky that like they're not
Oh,
in
no, they don't
the
watch.
Westman region to watch this because I have to be a little more careful because all my family. Like,
All your family's here, mine's not.
well,
and nor would I ever show them this
almost
episode.
all my mom's side of the family is in the Westman region, so I have to watch my words.
No, but like genuinely, for a while it was just the 4 of us, and then my one younger cousin came along. He's in between me and my sister. I think he's older than my little sister, younger than me. I think he graduates this year. And then there's 2 younger, I think like 10 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
And they're spoiled, really spoiled. And their parents don't help it. They're farm kids, and they just get absolutely spoiled. Like,
They rack in all that grain profit.
I don't know what they farm, to be honest.
Canola? I only say that because like the few times I've been through Saskatchewan in the summer,
It's canola everywhere.
it's just endless canola fields. Like it's shocking. Like we have a lot of wheat fields in Manitoba. Saskatchewan should just be named canola.
But like,
Just rename the province.
But like, there's a lot of times in my family that I just absolutely hated hanging out with those kids because they were so much younger than us, and 2, every time we went to their house, my auntie banished all the kids to the basement, and I was like 16, 17, banished all of us to the
Banished them
basement,
to the basement.
and we had to play with these little like 7 and 8-year-old kids.
Well, that could be fun though.
No, it wasn't, because they like to hurt you. They're not fun, and we were not allowed to hit back because we were adults.
Oh, that.
Anywho, no, it was never.
You can't kick a 7-year-old.
We're not allowed. I would get in trouble because then they'd go cry to their mother, and their mother would. Anyway, so I never really liked hanging out with them. My other auntie had a really creepy husband. This is the one with the only child, William. Anyway, really creepy dad. He's out of the family now because he was not blood related. He was just by marriage. Now they're divorced. He was a really creepy guy, actually.
This is very deep. You're like giving us like your whole
giving
family
you the family
description.
lore.
Yeah.
No, he was really creepy, as in he would take pictures and videos of me and my mom across the table at family gatherings.
How about we put the pause button on
Yeah,
this?
so it was
That's
weird.
Not good.
So I'm happy he's out of the family, actually, and he also never really showed up to family functions. My uncle on that side, we're not sure if he's he's blood related. My grandma did give birth to him, but we're not sure if he's my grandpa's kid or not. Right. That's the family lore. We don't know if he's actually grandpa's kid or if because my grandma and grandpa split up for a little bit of time, and then they got back together, and then Uncle Ryan. So
well, see, it's funny that like you're saying all this, like you have people that are like younger than you, older than you. I'll get to that. I'm pretty much like the baby of both sides of my family. I don't have many cousins on my dad's side of the family, or that I've met, but I have like a lot more cousins on my mom's side of the family, and I'm the youngest out of all of them combined.
That's crazy.
And I only say technically because I think like my second cousin, I think he just had a baby, so technically third cousin,
Well,
but still, like, I was always like the youngest by a semi margin. So
yeah. And the youngest get everything because
yeah, so I'm the youngest of like the entire family.
Yeah.
And I'm an only child. Like, that's like the worst mixture.
that's the best mixture for you. You get spoiled. But my
But
grandparents.
you're lonely though. I don't have like I didn't have anyone
My
else.
grandparents kind of just forget about us because I have little cousins now.
Right.
So every Christmas, ever since they were born, it's just, oh, little cousins. Oh, hey, you guys are here. I forgot you existed. You know?
But some of the most fun that you can have is with your cousins. Like, some of my cousins, like, either playing video games or going off, like, running in the park next to the house.
Do you want to know the funny family lore story?
Sure. We have limited time, so make
My
it quick.
uncle blinded my auntie. He's the reason that she has glasses.
What?
He threw a stick at her face once, and it got in her eye, and now she has glasses. That's what we've been told ever since we were kids: is don't throw sticks at each other.
What goes on in Saskatchewan? Like,
Honestly,
we
couldn't
make
tell
fun
you.
of each other all the time. Like, for the whole Manitoba Saskatchewan rivalry. Her province scares me a little bit.
You know what else I did as a kid? We kicked a soccer ball and it broke a window, and then we just didn't tell my mom it was us. I don't think she knows that happened, but it's okay.
Well, she knows now.
Oh, she's not gonna watch this. It's fine.
I'm gonna send this to her. I'm gonna email this to
What's
her.
her email? Actually, maybe don't say that on the air if you know. Mom's gonna get a bunch of emails just like, what?
I don't know her email, but I will find it.
Do you know her name?
Listen, we're live.
Starts with a B.
We're
What is-
live right now. Let's not give out personal info. We're live.
I just want to see if you know her name.
No. But I'm gonna tell her.
The other funny lore is they got my mom's name wrong on her graduation, on her diploma.
No, they didn't. High school or
High school diploma. It's wrong, and she went to the same high school her entire life, and they have it wrong on her. So yeah,
that's just crappy.
she showed me it before, and she
That's
hates it.
That is awful.
Uh-huh.
You couldn't even like request to get it redone.
I don't know. And the other family lore, real quick before we leave, is my mom got trampled when she was in elementary school and broke her arm, and then my grandparents were like, "Oh, it's not that serious," and then they basically put off taking her to the hospital. I don't know how it happened. She just got trampled and stepped on, and her arm was broken. I
See,
think they took her to the doctor eventually.
The only lore, okay, one side of the lore of my family has some patchy bits, but like one of the things that on my dad's side of the family, because like my dad has 3 sisters, and some of the funny lore that I would hear like when I was a kid, it was one of my dad's sisters tried to poison him.
Oh.
I don't think it's genuine, but that was a story that we heard like when we were like young, and I was like, "Is that real? Is she gonna poison me?"
Actually, it's funny because my mom has 2 sisters and a brother, so there's 3 girls and a guy in that family. And when my mom and dad started dating, my mom got pregnant 2 months into dating my dad, and my aunties didn't like it very much. Specifically, my one auntie, who had the 2 little kids, and she had threatened to hurt my dad if it was true. But I don't think she ever acted. I mean, I hope she didn't, but I'm not sure. I don't think she
Well,
ever
given the fact
acted
that
on it.
you're around,
My dad's alive,
and,
so
and, yeah, the fact that he's alive and you're alive,
I just think it's
probably
really
not.
funny because
Yeah. I'm gonna threaten to hurt you. That's funny.
No, literally, she threatened my dad because if it was true, she was gonna hurt my dad. And then at my mom and dad's wedding, my oldest brother was 2 months old, and everybody was fighting over the kid, about who gets to hold the kid. It was my mom and dad's family did not get along at the wedding.
Time out. Mackenzie Jordan, do you need counseling? do you need counseling?
Maybe a little. My family's a little messed up, guys.
I mean, mine has its moments too, but what? What? Huh? All of this has made no sense. Oh my goodness. We're gonna have to have like a lot. Okay. I wish I had like a pencil here, because I would be like, after the episode's done, like I'd be like, okay, no, I want you to go back to your childhood, and I'm like, I have the clipboard, and I'm like writing down this giant like Costco-sized receipt of notes of like it's just like the piece of paper's just going all over, just like.
Didn't you want to know more about my childhood?
No, because we're almost out of time.
No, I just meant like, hasn't this been a very insightful experience for you?
It's insightful to know that you're crazy,
I'm not crazy. My family is.
but you're related to your family.
Only by blood. I don't take any of their morals on. Oh yeah, there's more family lore, but I'll tell you that later.
I was gonna say,
I just thought
I've
about-
known you for like over a year at this
Well, I
point.
just thought about the morals part that I just said, and I was like, ooh,
Ooh.
ooh, yeah.
I've known you for over a year, and you're kind of crazy.
What? What?
You're like a little crazy.
No, I'm not.
This is where Casey Chronicles breaks out. This is the last episode of 2024. It's the last episode of this show. I'm kidding. I'm being genuine.
I actually was conjuring tears. I was gonna make it real.
You're making me look bad now. That's horrible.
All right, we gotta wrap this episode up.
We gotta wrap this up. We gotta wrap this episode up, and we gotta give her counseling.
Yeah. I've already been to therapy, and it didn't help. So
Oh.
Well, it did, and then I had to leave. Well, my therapist quit, and then the new therapist was pregnant, so then she had to leave. Literally 2 months into counseling me. So that's it. That's all.
Hey, listen. If you don't have therapy, ice cream. It helps.
I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah. That's even
Why
funnier.
would you do that to me?
Okay, fine. Slurpees.
With my mom's new slushie machine.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
You were
was
talking
so
about that.
close to opening that while I was sitting in my apartment. Now it's wrapped, so I can't open it. But I was like this close to breaking it
it
out
was
and
so
start making
tempting.
slushies.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like you make the slushies, you clean it out, you dry it, you just put it back in
Nobody
the
would
case.
know.
No one would ever know.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you for watching in. We hope you enjoyed the last episode of this year, maybe the last episode of this show ever.
No, I'll come back.
Oh, no. Don't start with that tone.
Anywho, we hope you enjoyed spending 2024 with us.
Yes.
Hopefully we were a constant view for you guys. Hopefully we were a constant rewatch. Hopefully we made you laugh.
We did well from the beginning of March to like the second, third week of December. 31 episodes, and not even a full calendar year.
That's
31 episodes. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. And I think we deserve a big pat on the back for that one.
And a big.
Wow.
I think we did good.
We did. And we will be back.
We are going to
Next
make
year?
2025
The
amazing.
biggest year we've had. Well, we've only had 1 year, but it'll be our biggest year yet.
I feel like when we like have like our 1 year anniversary of us doing this show, like in March, we gotta do something there.
Oh, we will.
We should have like a giant party.
Excuse me.
Thank you for that.
Sorry, I couldn't hold it in. I was going to hold it in until we were done, and I couldn't. Anyway.
This show sometimes is. Oh,
Follow us on Instagram,
Instagram
and TikTok.
and TikTok.
At, KC_Chronicles 2024. We post a lot of good content. You'll see some more content over the holidays because I have a bunch of photos and videos stocked up, ready for posting while we're on break.
oh yeah.
And the next time you see us on your TV screens will be in 2025. So enjoy Christmas.
And again, over the Christmas break, like the week and a half I have off, I'm getting a trim and probably new glasses. So I'm gonna look like I'm
A
gonna look way
Martian?
different. I'm Marvin the Martian from
Marvin the Martian. Anywho, we please enjoy
email
your Christmas.
WCGTV@westmancom.com.
Enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy your New Year's. Have a wonderful celebration. Spend time with your family. Spend time with your friends.
Eat
spend
lots of
time with your
food.
significant others. Eat lots of food.
Get drunk
Yeah, get drunk like me.
if you want to.
In spirit, you can be like, I'm getting drunk, and in spirit, Kenzie from Casey Chronicles is here.
With her slushy
Party
machine.
it up.
With her mom's slushy machine.
We thank you for sticking around for this year, and we hope that you will join us on our crazy adventure next year. We have a lot of ideas planned, and we are going to execute them as fast and as much as we can.
I just want spring to come around because like a lot of our ideas become feasible and more attainable in the spring.
Yeah.
So let's just get through winter.
Other than that, we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, your week, whatever you're having when you see this. And yeah, and for now, for a couple weeks, bye from Kenzie and Cullen. We will see you in 2025.
Happy New Year.